And right now we're glad to be joined by a gentleman. His name is Rob Lewis, and as I said, his dad served 35 years in the military. Rob works for the Wounded Warrior Project here in the Northeast. Rob, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Nice to have you, Rob.
Pleasure.
You've been here since dark, early morning. You were the first guy here.
Yeah, I had to get out early. I had to see what was going on and make sure you guys had everything you needed.
You're the first guy at the bar, the last guy to leave.
That's exactly it.
And listen, and we thank you for having us. It is an honor for us to be a part of this event and to partner up with the Wounded Warrior Project. And tell us about your role in the Wounded Warrior Project and how you got involved and why you did.
My role's a great one because I spend all my time getting people to talk about Wounded Warrior Project and the veterans we serve. I work television and in radio for 15 years as a producer and later a manager, and then kind of needed a change and transition to this. I grew up around the military. As you mentioned, my dad served 3 decades in the Army. He was Army Special Forces.
Wow.
He retired as a colonel. So military was near and dear to my heart. It was a part of my life. So this opportunity was something I saw and I had to take, and it's been a great decision.
Yeah,
that's right. Let's talk about, we've talked about how many different families Wounded Warrior reaches out to, how many they serve, how many millions are actually impacted by their work. We haven't really talked about specifically what you guys provide for these veterans on a daily basis. Let's talk about some of those specifics.
Yeah. We offer free programs in mental health, physical health, connection, where we bring veterans together to kind of get them out of the house and get them involved with their community, financial wellness. We also offer what we call the Independence Program that helps our most severely injured men and women. These are individuals that need help from a caregiver up to like 40 hours a week. So they're relying on a family member to keep them out of an institution. So it's really vital what those family members do. So this program helps the warrior and helps the family kind of keep them all together.
You know, we're talking to Rob Lewis, who worked with the Wounded Warrior Project, whose dad did 35 years Special Forces, as he just told us. I was speaking off the air with Lieutenant General Mike Linnington, the Wounded Warrior Project CEO, and we discussed the mental injuries, the PTSD and that type of thing. And sometimes those injuries are worse to deal with for a veteran because you get shot in the arm, it heals. But the stuff that these guys go through in combat, et cetera, I mean, first of all, they're afraid sometimes there's a stigma attached. They're afraid to admit it. So tell us about what you do for them and how you draw them out.
Yeah, PTSD is a real issue, and not just for veterans. It's not just a veteran injury. It's a natural reaction to any traumatic situation. So it's estimated as many as 600,000 veterans, post 9/11 veterans, are living with PTSD in various different stages of it. And it's something that not everyone recognizes when they're living with it. So sometimes it's hard to realize that you even need help. But we have a program called Warrior Care Network. And it's we work with 4 medical centers across the country: Atlanta, Boston, Los Angeles, and Chicago. And we take veterans from anywhere in the country to one of those 4 facilities to get treated. And they get 70-plus hours of clinical mental health care. Combine that with mindfulness, nutrition, different ways to help them address PTSD, find coping skills, find support, realize that their reactions to trauma are natural, and but it kind of normalizes it and helps them live a normal life.
That's part of it, if you don't mind me, is that they feel isolated, and when they see other guys like them in the same predicament, they don't feel so guilty or stigmatized in their own minds.
Well, one of the challenges with PTSD is isolation is one of the ways anyone deals with it, and you're not going to get better by isolating and sitting in your home.
Right.
And you know, we do what we can to try and break through that isolation, whether it's get warriors out to a sporting event, to dinner, any way to get them with other veterans. We do a lot of commercials so people see us and know about us.
Yep.
You're at home watching TV, you see a commercial about Wounded Warrior Project, you see there's other veterans just like me, let me go get involved, get to a fun event, and then we talk to you about how we can help you with PTSD, how we can help you find that right civilian career. So it's it all goes hand in hand to help a veteran kind of take that next step in their journey to recovery.
Rob Lewis is sitting with us right here, Bernie and Sid, coming to you live this morning from the corner of 27th Street and 5th Avenue, a couple of hours before the Veterans Day 2019 parade. You know, you guys started this thing again in 2003, 16 years now, not long after the tragedy that was 9/11. And I know a lot of the folks that come home that you deal with are from Afghanistan, from Iraq, I guess Syria, the Middle East mostly. I brought up Vietnam earlier to one of the other folks that sat with us. I just wonder, for folks that fought in other wars, I don't know if they're involved with your organization. Are you guys basically just fresh off what happened 9/11 in the Middle East?
Well, our focus is veterans post 9/11.
Okay.
But if another veteran from another generation is looking for resources, we have a resource center. And you can find out more about that at woundedwarriorproject.org. But we have
you wouldn't turn them away. I mean,
no. But here's the thing: is so if they reach out to us, we will find them resources. So there are resources for Vietnam veterans. There are resources for other generations, and so we'll connect them with them depending on what they're looking for. And Warrior Care Network, our facility that we work with up in Boston, home base, they treat all generations for PTSD. So it's not just post 9/11 that goes through that program.
Rob Lewis from the Wounded Warrior Project. You're doing God's work. And I'm taking a chance by asking you this question. Your dad served 35 years in the military, Rob Lewis. Is your dad going to be marching today? Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's down in the Maryland, West Virginia area. So
Thank God.
He retired from the military. He worked as a contractor in Afghanistan, and then he completely retired and recently came out of retirement to take a job with the State Department. So he's off today, but he'll be back at work tomorrow in D.C.
Last one.
Shout out to him and thank him for his service.
Your father. The president was at a big college football game on Saturday, Alabama LSU, and we all know that Joe Burrow and LSU won that game. And
Great game.
And they're on a collision course to either play Clemson or Ohio State for the national championship. But you're a proud Florida Gator. We talked about that.
Yes,
you guys won 56-0 on Saturday. Dan Mullen's done an amazing job as the head coach of the Florida Gators. You were there back in the great Steve Spurrier days.
Yep.
And now, with Miami taking a step backwards and Florida State really taking a step backwards, you, my friend, your Florida Gators own the state.
We mostly own it. I mean, there's some pockets of Miami Hurricane fans down in the South that we let them have that, but it's a great time to be a Florida Gator. The football program's definitely on the upward swing.
Absolutely. The basketball program is pretty good, too. All right, thank you so much, Rob. Thank you for stopping by. It's great to see you, and thank you for all the great work that you do. Really yeoman's work.
And for having us. We're honored to be here with you. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for supporting veterans.
You got it, Rob. It's our pleasure. We are really, really honored to be here working and seeing folks like you.